You're listening to WKCR FM New York, WKCR HD1, or WKCR.org on the web. Either way, we are thrilled you're here. This is the Ragas Live Festival. It's our 10th anniversary of sharing 24 hours of music beaming out to the world. And last year we had a huge event, and we were 90 musicians in 15 cities. And one of the artists that touched the most people's hearts was Paravathy Baul. And if she has the same effect on you as she has on me and so many others, you can learn more about her and support some of her efforts in helping her community through her ashram. That's information at parvathybaul.com, parvathy.com. And also thanks to the Society of Arts and Culture of South Asia, which is a big supporter of making this broadcast happen, and of Parvathy. So you can go to SAC.org to learn more about that. So yeah, usually Parvathy is in West Bengal, but today we're connecting to her in Europe. And Parvathy, thank you so much for joining us here today. Now, my first question is, when people play dance music, their goal is to make people dance. If they're playing classical music, perhaps they are trying to impress people with their virtuosity. But sound in the Baul tradition is something very different. When you create music in the Baul tradition, what's the goal?
We say that we don't sing, we listen. We say we don't dance, we become invisible. So it is not a projection for us. It is like basically you and your listeners are one. And by singing the devotion, you invoke bhakti in all of the listeners, in yourself and in others. But the singer has to need to work on this element in him or her. And if that is ripened, then the listener will easily get it.
And what attracted you to the Baul tradition?
Since my childhood, I was extremely, I think I didn't know anything so far except dancing and singing all the time. So my father told me that when I was like just learned to speak, the first sentence, complex sentence, I told my father that I want to dance. So he took me to this dance school that was available. We lived in Assam, and there was this Kathak dance school. So I started learning Kathak from very early age. And my sisters and brothers, they used to learn classical music. My father was not a musician. He was an engineer, but he was very fond of classical music and dance. So he used to organize concerts and classes for the children. Many masters used to come from Kolkata, Shotobrata Roy, Proshun Bandyopadhyay, and all these great masters we have seen in our childhood at our home. And so he gave us all this knowledge to practice. Then so in the beginning, yes, it was mostly classical music and classical dance that I was exposed to. And I didn't know anything about Baul. I have heard only maybe one long play record. You remember this old time, this long play record my father had?
Sure.
And we all used to listen to that. My father used to bring this big long play records from Kolkata. And I heard Purnadas Baul once. In my childhood, I remember I used to play it many times because I liked the voice, how it goes high. So that's all was my experience. But the real thing happened, what we call being wounded with the arrow of the Baul. That happened only when I was 16 and I was traveling to Shantiniketan to give my examination as a visual art student in Kalabhavan. My brother was with me and we were traveling by the train. And there was so much noise in the train, like all the hawkers asking, no, chai, chai, biscuit, biscuit. And people, pulling luggage, people coming in, going out, all of that happening. And suddenly one Baul singer came in. Actually, I never saw that singer again. I don't even know who it was. I searched for him, but I never found. He was blind and dark, lean, and he had these very long fingers. And the cloth was not very clean. I still remember that the white was still not very clean. And he was playing an ektara, which is not a fancy ektara, in the sense it was made with we used to get this baby food in the Amul tin. It was all tin at the time, and he tied his bamboo to the tin, and the string was attached from the down to up. But he came and he strung his ektara in the compartment. And for me, I could hear only that sound and nothing else. And I had a very strong experience by listening to that sound. And I felt that I was one of them. And then suddenly I came back to my own self and said, oh, I'm visual art student. I'm going for visual art. And I was afraid that if I see Baul again, I'll become a Baul. So I started avoiding. The moment I see ektara, I ran away to other side. But my first assignment after my admission was given by my teacher, and he said that, you have to go to Baul Akhara and make their sketch. So we were sent to Baul Akharas, and I spent many hours listening to Baul music. And now you understand what happened after that. And so what attracted me to Baul is that I was continuously searching for a meaning, and the art and music, I felt it should help me to have inner transformation to make me a better human being. So, and I saw it very, very clearly in the Bauls, because there was no difference between what they sing and how they live. And it's like how I say very simply that they never changed their costume. It was the same costume on the stage or in the daily life. So that oneness, living with the essence of your practice 24/7, that's what attracted me.
Wow. Hearing you talk about the living your song, it reminds me, just the other day we were spending time with the great Prahlad Singh Tapania, and the verse of Kabir came up where he was criticizing, and he said, you didn't, Yogi, you just changed the color of your clothes. You didn't color your mind. So it's almost it's very much in the spirit of what you're talking about. I wonder, I see you have your instruments behind you. I wonder if there's a song that, this conversation is something is coming up, within you. Is there something in the spirit of this memory on the train, or something about this conversation?
Okay. I don't. I don't have very good sound system here, so I will just try with whatever I have. Okay, I'll sing you a song that I love very much. It's called the song that goes on for that time. No, so now in my head, this song is going on again and again and again.
Great.
And it describes the beauty of Gauranga when he's singing and dancing, and it is a song describes from his feet to his head how he's dressed, and explaining his qualities, his surrender, his unconditional love. Sri Sri Guru Pado Bharosha Matrasha Shuradhanir Kinarai Roshik Nagar Necherai Navana Garigo Shundara Gaurangara Shundara Charane Shundara Gorarai Shundara Charane Shundara Runo, runo, bajranga pai. Runo, runo, bajranga pai. Lagori go, Sundar Gaurangorai. Navana gori go. Gorar Sundara Kapale Sundara Tilaku Sundaraya dhare Sundara hashiti Gorata hai Sundara radha duna Sundara galaye Sundara mala Sundara hele dule jai Gora Gora তখন গোরা গান করে নদবাসী ঘরে ঘরে ও না গরি গো তার দেহ রেখে গোরা দেহ রেখে প্রাণ লইয়া যায় গোরা গোরা রায় গোরা রায় গোরা রায় আর সুন্দর গৌরাঙ্গ রায় নবনা করি গো সুন্দর গৌরাঙ্গ রায় দেহ রেখে রাজা দেহ দেহ রেখে প্রাণ লইয়া যায় না গরি গো সুন্দর গৌরাঙ্গ রায় নবনা গরি গো সুন্দর গৌরাঙ্গ রায়
Wow, thank you so much. Sometimes the music is so beautiful, it seems like anything you would say after is foolish.
Absolutely.
A lot of people don't know the roots of the Baul tradition, which, I know that some of you believe it goes all the way back to Shiva.
Yeah.
What for those of us who just need the basics, like where has this tradition sprung from, and who are the contributors?
Yeah. So you have asked about the specific song, no?
Oh yeah, please, let's begin there. Yeah.
So this is a song written by Radharaman Dotto, and he is a poet from Sylhet, Bangladesh. So most of his singing style is Nabona Gori Go. This rhythm, it comes from the tradition called Dhamail, where the women sing like this. See, it's the same rhythm. When they gather in the family, they sing like that. No shikna gore neche jai, nabana gori go. So he took it from this rhythm. So it's something that belonged to that culture locally in that space, and then he integrated in the Baul songs. So in most of the Baul songs, the composition you see is the influence or the inspiration from the what exists around, the kind of traditions exist around. Whether it's Marga Sangeet or it is the Ashram Sangeet, doesn't matter. But Baul holds that that there's a huge repertoire that Baul has, because as you know that India is so diverse, and we have music very different from district to district, from village to village, the singing style changes. So this is why the Bauls from Birbhum, how they will sing, or the Bauls from the Sylhet, how they will sing, Baul from the Kushtia, how they will sing, it's very different. And it's a style that belong to that space. So which you call also like gharana, kind of in the classical music they call it gharana. and we call it ghar, almost the same. Ghar means the home. What is the home? So, and about the Baul tradition, if you want to ask, it is an oral tradition, so very difficult to trace the history. But when you look at the meaning of the song, the poetry, you start finding similarities with many, many other traditions. Also, the kind of discipline that a Baul would maintain. There is a lot of similarity with the Natha Sampradaya. Like you have heard this Gorakhanath, you must have heard, no? The bhajan and everything. Yes. Yeah. So this Natha Sampradaya practice also very much, they also did these dohas and vachanas through these couplets. They have transmitted their knowledge in simple language. And from the Buddhist time, which was from the 8th century onwards, we have this collection of poem called Charja Giti. Charja means traveler, traveling, and Giti is a song. So it's the songs of the travelers. So these masters, there is a great master in Shantiniketan. He's a scholar, Tibetan scholar, and he told me that many of the Buddhist monks who were living in these universities like Nalanda and other matha and practicing this very deep shastras, which is scriptures, it was in a very difficult language which local people did not understand. So when they went for viksha to the people, because it's a part of the Buddhist practice that they need to have the viksha, and they stood at the door and they found a way to communicate what they were practicing through this very simple metaphor. So there have been 84 Siddha masters like Kanhopad, Sharahopad, and they have written this poem in Charja Giti. If you take one of the Charja Giti and the Baul song, you will find it is the same principle they built their poem. Maybe the little metaphor is kind of same, but maybe the name of the Devi or name of the practice may be a little different, but everything else, it builds on that. And Tantra has inspired. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came in 15th century and he brought this wave of bhakti, and that made Baul take the Harinam. So the devotional singing started from there. Like devotion and surrender came more and more through Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Later, one more very important entry was the fakirs and the Sufis. I think during that time only, during those centuries. And there have been a lot of exchange with there was this big tradition of the Afghanistan fakir. So one of the first schools, they were known as Sahadadya. So they came from Afghanistan, or the masters traveled there. We don't know the exact story, but there have been a lot of exchange. And so what we see of Baul today is essence of all this teaching in a very musical way, in a very simple way. Because as you said just before, we ourselves told that it feels stupid to speak just after the song. So the masters found a way to enter the heart of the devotee by singing, because the way singing can penetrate our heart, if we speak 1,000 words doesn't. We listen and then our mind travels to another side. So but when we listen to the music, we lose the time become elastic, and we ask, sometime when I was little young and things started working little bit, I used to ask people, tell me when I started singing and when I ended. I don't give them watch. I just tell them. They could not tell. And I was very happy to know that okay, it's working. Like, you have to forget time when you sing. Yeah. When the music happens.
Wow. So you give such a beautiful description of, I didn't know that the Buddhist and Tibetan masters had worked their way in, along with the Sufis and all these other amazing traditions, into the Baul tradition. And another difference, like sometimes in the Western philosophies and religions, sometimes they see the spirit and the body as these opposing, separate things. But it seems like in the embrace of dance and music as well, like with the Baul tradition, it's not. It seems like there's more of a connection between the two. Is that
Wow.
accurate?
And?
Oh, well, it's a question then. So, well, yeah. What are your thoughts on that?
My master wrote a song, and it says that কাঠের মালায় কাজ হবে না, শ্বাসের মালা জপতে হবে. That the wooden beads mala will not function. You have to do the chanting, the repetition with the breath. So the bow, it's a very simple thing. It's I just tell a small example I always tell, is that if you touch the fire, your hand burns, right? Second time, if I ask you to put your hand on the fire, you will not put, because you know it burns. So your body knows. So when you have an experience so strong, you can only experience through your body. So even the divine, if you have to experience, you have to experience through the body. So my master used to say, bring it down. Like, bring the divine. Instead of flying high, bring him down here with us. So this is what Baul say.
Wow. And that's so interesting, because so many people in the West, when we try to engage with these spiritual traditions, the opposite of bringing it down happens. and maybe they're in the sky, but their feet are not necessarily on the ground.
We always say in Baul that to go forward, to make an action, if you want to go like that, you have to go backward. So you need to have this opposite pull, either this way. If you have to go that, you have to have opposite. So you need to have a foot very strong on the ground. Then only your head will reach the sky.
That's beautiful. So do you have another song inside of you?
Yes, of course. And I will sing this song of my master that says, কাঠের মালায় কাজ হবে না, শ্বাসের মালা জপতে হবে. The wooden beads will not work. Is the beads of breath you must chant.
Great.
My master is Sanatan Das Baul, and he lived in Bankura, and he lived for 93 years. He had practiced with two very important masters. One is Nitai Khapa and Manohar Goswami. And everybody loved him in Bengal. Khapa, khapa re, khapa re, khapa. শ্বাসের মালায় কাজ হবে না, শ্বাসের মালায় জপতে হবে। প্রাণায়াম না সিদ্ধ হলে কেমন করে পারে যাবে, শ্বাসের মালায় জপতে হবে। ওরে ইরা পিঙ্গলা ছেড়ে খবরে খবরে খবা আগে চলো মূলাধারে, সুষম নাকে সঙ্গে করে খাবা, সুষম নাকে সুষম নাকে সুষমলারে সঙ্গে করে দিদল পারে যেতে হবে। কাঠের মালায় কাজ হবে না, শ্বাসের মালায় জড়তে হবে। তুমি সহস্রারে চড়বে যখন, দেখতে পাবে খাবারে সেই গোলক ধাম। খাবা বলে সনাতন খাবা, খাবা বলে শোন সনাতন, আগে জানতে মরা, আগে জানতে মরা, খাবা বলে শোন সনাতন খাবা, আরে খাবা বলে শোন সনাতন, জানতে মরা হতে হবে। কাঠের মালায় কাজ হবে না, শ্বাসের মালায় জপতে হবে। কাঠের মালায় কাজ হবে না, খাবারে খাবা Jai Guru.
Jai Guru.
The songs of the Baul called the songs of the mad people. So we sing madness. Madness doesn't mean mental illness. It means freedom from the mental illness. Perhaps we live with madness. So Baul says, Pagol, Pagol, Shabai Pagol. Everybody says Baul is mad. But the Baul wonder whether it is me or the world.
Yeah. It's the not crazy people we have to worry about, I think.
So this rhythm that my master once explained to me, he said to me that there is this structural singing where you have this precise rhythmic pattern. And he says, that's not Baul. He said, you have to be a kappa, you have to be a mad, you have to do unstructured sound. It means you change the rhythm and you bring in sudden change, which even surprises you. And it has to be at that moment. So it's like there is no thinking of, no planning of what I will do now, what I will do this. No planning. The moment the planning happens, the Baul is dead. It's not Baul. You have to sing Baul means you have to really be present at the moment with the sound then and there. So this is why it's called the music of the divine madness.
Yeah, I had that very thought when you were singing one note that you sang. I thought that you were going to end the phrase, and then suddenly you found some new power, and it kept going, and it seemed to me like you were surprising yourself. And it's true. It's so hard to be honest when you know what you're going to say. So from your guru, you learn, you're learning music, you're learning poems, you're learning what philosophy, you're learning yoga. What did your guru? What was the scope of what you learned from your guru?
So my master, I have two masters because according to the tradition, you can have one master or you can have two masters and sometimes three also, depending on your condition. So I had two masters. One is my Diksha Guru, that is initiation, because Baul is a spiritual tradition. And so you need to be initiated. It's a life path, you know. So so my Parama Guru and Diksha Guru is Sanatan Baba, Sanatan Das Baul. And he gave me the first initiation and also the final initiation. And my Shiksha Guru was Shashank Gosai from Murshidabad. When I met him, he was 97-year-old. And he taught me the steps and a lot of songs he gave me, a lot of repertoire. When I lived with my Sanatan Baba master, his teaching method was more like, we didn't have any formal class. I was just following my teacher. I was living with him. He used to sleep. He never had a private room. The Indian Baul masters, they don't have private life. He slept in the veranda on a cot, and that cot was taken from a burning ground where they had carried the dead body in that cot. So he said, all right, this person died and they will burn it. Why you burn your cot? Give me the cot, I will sleep. So he was sleeping. So I used to sleep down on the mat, just under his feet. And I spent 24 hours with him. I was assistant and I knew what he needs, and carrying chai and biscuits in time and water. And also preparing whatever he will be needing for his practice, small things. And some days, I mean, I spent maybe 15-20 days without even learning anything. I just lived with him, helping him. Maybe sometime he didn't even speak for 15 days. We just went on, with simple things. Oh, is it evening? Then bring some tea. Is it morning? Okay, do this. So there was nothing. And then suddenly he will call me and say, Parvathy Ma, I think I have to tell you something. And then he said, start singing that song. And I start singing the song. Then he explains the meaning to me, and then he shows me the steps. How would be the steps? And then he just tells once, and then he will tell, now you contemplate, and then in the evening you show me. And in the evening he never asked me to show it. So I wait. And then finally, one day, he would ask me to show everything while he's putting oil on his body and doing his yoga in the sunlight. He did his yoga practice till he was 90. Only last 3 years he didn't do. And then he will say, now it's working. And if something is not working, then he will give me some small reflection. Again, it was very different with my other master, Shashanka Gosai. He started teaching me every time, and sometimes 43 songs a day. And I said, Baba, I will not remember anything. He says, don't worry, it will all stay inside you, and when the time comes, you'll get it back. Then I said, why he was hurrying to teach? He said, I'm 97. I have to go. I have to finish my teaching with you, so I'm giving you everything. He could hardly stand up. He would put this bamboo fence to hold his body to side and show me the footwork, how to do the footwork with the song. So this is how I learned. And the biggest learning that I have from my master, beyond anything of this, is their love and acceptance. Such a stupid person like me. This is what makes me most in debt with them. They taught me how to see.
So it's all quite simple in the end. Wow, thank you for sharing that. Such a moving image and story of I don't know how much love and how present and how these people lived by their beliefs and their philosophy. Are there times when you feel like you're slipping away? You're not something, you get distracted and you've fallen away from being in the present moment, being in touch with the divine, and if you do have these moments, what do you do to come back?
Sing more. If someone is having that feeling, it can happen that you don't feel the same inspiration. You get this kind of block that happens. I think sometimes it is good to accept that, and the things can work better when we accept this, because sometimes people don't recognize, they lie to themselves, saying they think everything is functioning fine, but it is not. It is just their fantasy. So it's very important that in the practice, be it music or anything like that, if a time comes like that, it's to observe oneself, why it stopped for me first, and take a pause, then start working again. And a very good suggestion that was given to me by a very good practitioner, which I would like to share. Go back to the first day you wanted to sing. Why? Go back to the first day you decided to play the music. Then you'll get back everything.
A beginner's mind. So maybe we can say goodbye with one more song if it's in the air.
Okay. So David, what kind of music do you play?
Oh, well, I've traveled a lot and I pick up little things everywhere. So lots of songs and whatever puts a smile on people's face.
Tomorrow is Deepavali, and so I would like to sing to Divine Mother. Oi Kali Prem Sindhu Nire Dube thako mon dube thako Adal tale toliye kiye shudhu make dako Oi Kali 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 Sindhu Nire Shital have dagdahiya Dak na devon dubti diya Ratan malik lau tuliya Sei bhushane अंग ढाको काली प्रेम काली प्रेम ঝড় তুফানে নয় কোনো ভয়। যে প্রেম সাগরে ডুবিয়া রয় ভাবা পাগলা হাসিয়া কয় মাগো আমায় ডুবিয়ে রাখো কালি 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 প্রেম কালি প্রেম সিন্ধু নীরে ডুবে থাকো মন ডুবে থাকো।
Well, thank you very much for your time and for your spirit. And I hope if anybody's heart cracked open that they go to the SACSO website, the South Asian Cultural Society for Arts and Culture of South Asia, because I know they are helping support your ashram, which is doing a lot of good for a lot of people in your community, the older people and the local village people. So I hope they track you down and support your mission. You can go to parvathybaul.com, which is PARVATHYBAUL.com. That's the best way to learn more about Parvathy Ji and all of her efforts. And a million thank yous. Thanks to Gangotri and Bhaskar at Saksa for putting us all together. And how do you feel?
Me?
Yeah.
I was thinking about the others, what they feel.
Yeah, you're all here on the Zoom. How are you feeling, Gangotri?
Enlivened, back in the heart, that reminder, just really wonderful. Great to be here.
My girlfriend is in tears and my cat is very happy. So we've said all we needed to do. All right. Thank you all so much. And we really appreciate your time and for making this happen.
Krishnakanta want to say something.
Oh, please go ahead, Krishna.
I feel there was so much said and so much singing, but somehow the main thing that is here now for me is the silence. It's almost that when Parvati Ma sang and then stopped for a moment of silence, it's like that silence is remaining very strongly inside. It's startling. So, Jai Guru.
Purva, everybody is looking at you.
Speechless. There are no thoughts right now. And I can't say anything even if I wanted to. Just a lot of feelings, but I don't know what they are. Just goosebumps. That's and a lot of gratitude. for being here. Joy Guru. I remembered something I could say.
Well, I'm very happy that the energy that we created connecting from all these different places in the world, we'll be able to share it with all the listeners. And I guess that's what we came here to do. So thanks once again.
We have left out one person.
Oh.
That's Babu. That he prepared all the files of the audio and he put a smiley.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
It's really great, and I'm grateful to. It's already 4th year in India. We have started our Diwali day, so it's really great to start our Diwali in such a beautiful note. It's late night, but the day has already started. Jai Guru.
Thank you so much, Parvathy, and thank you, David and Mari, and Prabha Krishnakanta, and Babu, everyone for coming. And David, yes, if there could be mentioned, Parvathy Baul's website, I don't know if you've had a chance to visit it, but it's really quite incredible. It's just been redone, and there's a lot of opportunity for people to come in and learn a lot about Baul and Parvathy and the ashram, and great resource. Yeah, there's lots of information as well as a learning portal, including free resources for folks to come in and sit in the cha seva and sit and attend a satsang, a virtual satsang, and learn from the masters in Parvathy.
Great.
Wow.
Jai Guru.
Jai Guru.
Jai Guru.
Jai Guru.
Jai Guru.
Take care.
Bye.
WKCR FM New York, WKCR HD1, or WKCR.org on the web. We're glad you're with us. We have something extremely special for you. Thanks to the Society of Arts and Culture of South Asia, we have recordings that will only be played once, only for this broadcast, and they are from Parvathy Baul and some of the constellation of teachers, gurus, and musicians around her, Lakshman Das Paul and Kanai Das Paul, and recordings from Parvathy Baul herself. And we're really honored to have this opportunity. When you start to understand the depth and dedication and breadth of the Baul tradition, it's just incredible. This is music that, and a tradition that incorporates Buddhism, Hinduism, Tantra,